Test. All right, it's 2 p.m. Let's get started. Thank you all for coming. My name is Michael Newmark. I'm the Administrative Law Judge for the Public Service Commission. I'll explain what that is just in a second, but we're here for the public hearing session for the Grid Forward Transmission Line Project, just so you know we're all in the right place here. Public Service Commission, it's a state agency and it regulates public utilities. I've been around in one form or another since 1874, regulating railroads and then electric, gas, and water utilities. So we set the rates for utilities, and we also approve major projects that utilities propose in the state. So what we're doing here today is the Grid Forward project. My job as the administrative law judge is to create the record in the case. And that's the documents that the commissioners use to make the decision on the application. So the commissioners run our agency, there's 3 of them, and they'll review all the documents that I provide. And based on that information, they'll make a decision whether to approve, modify, or reject the application. Excuse me. So on August 19th, we met in Madison, the parties to the case, including the applicant, commission staff, and interveners. They presented expert testimony and their witnesses were subject to cross-examination. That hearing, we produced a written transcript of that hearing. We collected documents from the participants. All that information is part of the record and the commissioners will review that. We're also, when we sent out our notice of hearing in June 25th, we started taking public comments on the case. We were receiving written comments up until now, and those comments were filed on the commission's website, and we could also receive those through the mail. So all the comments filed since June 25th up until the deadline is going to be September 8th. I'll review all of those and put those in the record as well. What we're doing here today is taking your live comments. So again, another way to comment. You can speak your comment today. We'll transcribe what you say, and the transcript will be what the commissioners read. There's also a number of other ways to comment. Like I mentioned, the website and by mail. Information how to do that's on this sheet. We have a bunch of those at the desk here. So if you'd like to take a copy, feel free. It has the link to where you can file your comment online, the QR code to do the same thing, and also a mailing address where you want to mail your comment. The only thing about written comments, the deadline September 8th, we need to have those received in our office by the 8th. So the online comment will just get to us instantly. The mail comment will take a while to get to us. So make sure if you're going to mail something, I don't even know, probably wouldn't even get to us in time. So I would refrain from mailing it to us at this point. But the easy thing to do would just be to speak your comment today. You can also hand us a written comment. There's space on the back of the sheet. We can give you more sheets if you want to write your comment in. We'll collect those and I'll give those to the commissioners as well. So different opportunities to comment. So I do have 3 appearance slips. Oh no, 4 slips. No, 3. 3 slips here for people who do wish to speak today. We'll grab them. So if you do want to speak, I just want to fill out the top part of the form and then check the box that says yes, speak now, and hand it back to Allison at the table there. She'll bring that slip up to me and we'll have you on the list to speak. Just a couple of ground rules about speaking today. The process is pretty simple. I'll announce your name, probably mispronounce it. I'll just tell you that already, a terrible pronunciation, but I apologize in advance. I'll do my best, and then I'll state your name, have you come up and take a seat. I'll swear you in, get your name for the record, and then just give us your opinion on the case. That's what we're here to take. Again, that's part of the information among all the other documents the commissioners will review in order to make its decision. So, so 3 people on deck so far. We will also have a Zoom link that people who can't make it here can participate by Zoom. So far, no one's connected to the hearing on the Zoom connection. But while you're making the comment, I may be distracted trying to let people in and making sure everything's working. So I apologize if I don't not paying attention, trying to get everything organized here. But the important thing is that the transcription is here's what you say, because that's what the commissioners are going to read. And about that, we just can't have more than one person speaking at a time. So if someone's making a comment, we can't have other noises in the room. So we want to get everything the person's saying and get it to the commissioner. So everyone will get a chance if you want to speak, but when it's your turn, it's the only time you want to be speaking. Another thing we can do, there's no big presentation about what this line is today, no Q&A session. But I can offer an important opportunity here is that if you do have questions about the project, I would let you ask those questions of commission staff and the applicant. They're both here today. Take your questions outside and get them answered, and then come back and give your comment with your answers in mind. So what I can do is I can take people now, 3 people who are on the list. If you don't have questions, come and give your comment. You're good to go. If you do have questions, we can take a recess and you can have those questions answered first, and then you come back and we'll get your comment. So depending on how this goes, I'll leave it up to you guys. But at this point, I think we can get started. Just gonna adjust the screen a bit and see if that'll work. I don't know if everyone really needs to see all this, but I guess we'll leave it here for now, see how it goes. So we do have someone connected by Zoom. I'll put them on the screen so you can see them speaking, but that's the whole point of the screens. But anyway, let's call our first person. It's let's see, it's DC Severson. Getting that close? Sorry about that. It's a little difficult to read there, but have a seat here. Yeah, all right, sir. I ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Where's your
And
Bible?
well, you can swear or affirm. So that's how that's what the state
My
provides.
mother told me not to swear.
We were just discussing this at breakfast, actually. Believe it or not. So what I need you to do first, just spell your name for the court reporter so she can get it correct.
Dick, DICKLSEVERSON.
Perfect. All right. So
Town of
I'm
Marquette,
gonna give you the microphone here and go ahead with your comment.
Town of Marquette, Green Lake County, sections 21 and 16 is where my polls are located. My number 1 question to the commissioner, is it necessary to put up new poles? Have lines already along Highway 39 and 22 of these type of poles. It's a long distance to go from point A to point D. Lots of extra cost and miles. If power is needed in Wood County and Trempealeau County, put the solar panels on land near there. Land in Columbia County is being putting power solar panels on because they're gonna discontinue the Columbian power station. County land in the north is not as expensive and has a shorter growing land season. Whatever happened to farmland preservation in Columbia County? I have a question, because when I was on the county board, Columbia County had the strongest farmland preservation. I went to the meeting in Watoma, didn't get many answers. Just fill out complaint papers, someone will get back to you. No answer yet. Got a letter from your PSA people, and it was from one of the environmental persons. It said, talk to Andy Kraft. person later said will contact me. Nothing back until today. My question, drilling large holes in marsh area, dirt, water removal, and will it affect wildlife impact? I don't think so, but when I was on the county board, on the drainage board, everything we did needed DNR approval and regulations. Have them been met for this project going through marshland? One set of poles on my land is near a spring. We're drilling a 15-foot diameter hole, 30-some feet or 20 feet, interfere with my aquaflow to my fish pond. Nobody answers. No answer if new line easement is gonna be offered. Existing easement, my district easement calls for 4H post. That's what it specifically says. Your letter of July notice did not mention Green Lake County. Question was there a new road proposed before the last public meeting notice? And according to the maps I've seen out there, it's still proposed in Green Lake County. So I guess I am concerned. In conclusion, not needed. The expense will raise electric cost. Not enough answer to homeland owners from ATC. If goes through, should pay landowners like cell towers. We own the land and pay taxes every year, not just once payment. Thank you very much.
All right, appreciate your comment. All right, thanks. Well, that's exactly how it's done. Thanks for giving us your comment today. So Henry Lipsky. You'll have to correct my pronunciation again. Cheers, everyone else, so just be careful. Yes, all right, I'll swear you in, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? All right, so give us your name, please.
Henry Lipke.
Can you hold on to the mic while you speak? Because I don't have a mic stand, sorry. Okay.
I wear hearing aids, so I don't hear it.
Okay, well, that's why we have the microphones too, so I'm glad.
Well, what I have to say isn't as organized as what the previous gentleman said, but I was around, in fact, I helped.
Okay.
In fact, I helped cut the right of way when they went
Guys,
through
excuse
there.
me just a second. Sir, I'm sorry, we can't have people talking when we're giving a comment. Okay, thanks, have a seat. Go ahead, sorry, keep going.
In fact, I was there when the power line went through in 54 or 55. And I went through this then. And I thought, oh, okay. Anyway, here we are today. And I've heard so many conflicting things. The most startling when I heard this just a while ago out there is that supposedly the line now is 80 feet wide. They're going to expand that to 150. That's going to be twice as much. Not only that, I have a farm up at Hancock, Wisconsin, and where the power line goes to, it was a 40 acres, but I sold my nephew 10 acres. So I have a 30-acre property there. In the northeast corner, it runs down to our lake. Then there's a small field. The Ice Age trailer is a finger of the Ice Age trail that hasn't been developed, but it's they're part of the old Ice Age. To the north, and touching up to us, is there's a county park. And we go just on the other side of that, is the Ice Age trail. Now, I talked to a real estate person about 2-3 months ago, I went and I said, I have this 30-acre parcel. You know, and I showed it to them and everything, and told them about the lake and things. And they said, I don't want you to appraise, just what do you think something like this would be worth? And they looked over and they said, well, we've sold 2 properties like that for 30 acres. One in the town of Richford, that's in Washington County, 249,000. Here's my question. Will my land be improved? Will the valuation of my land improve? I thought I had it. Let's say these people who are making these decisions, wherever they live, their house, wherever it is, here comes a public utility that says, we're gonna cut down 5 or nice big trees back there. What I think is really condescending, what do we really get for our land? We are just pawns in this whole thing. And I mean, let's face it, you know, and I know, this is gonna go through. One way or another, it's gonna go through. And if you want to object, here comes eminent domain. And what I think is really something to, when it says the remuneration, it'll be worked out individually. Because it's easier to pick people off one at a time, rather than have something structured where you know what you're gonna get for something. And then another thing is that now, I've been glancing through that book quite a bit. If that right away, if they have any problems, if there's a tree or they need something more along the right of way, guess what? They just can walk in and take care of it. There goes another tree, another tree. Why don't they put that? My opinion, every tree they remove my property after this, they'll pay me a fee for that tree. I don't care if it's dead or what. How many birds love dead trees? A source of food and everything else. Anyway, the last thing that really bothers me is that this woods now, with this property going through, I think the whole thing with the older one, this one, it'll be like at least 5 acres out of that 30. Now, guess what? It's woods, so it's taxed as recreational property. Right there now on that 40, if I didn't have a farm ag, I would be paying $40 an acre for that land for tax a year. I get it now for like 20 because of forest ag. But you know, that goes on forever. What can I raise on that land through that woods? Oh, a blackberry brush, hazelnut brush, if a tree gets started, gotta cut it down. You can't, it says you cannot raise trees for pulp. So like I say, for the token amount of money I'm gonna get from my land, how many years will it take before I've spent it all on my taxes for the property? And what do I have? I got this ugly 5 acres of woods sitting like that with nothing. I mean, if you have a property, you got a 5 acre piece of property with no trees, got a nice 5 acre woods, which one will the person buy? Anyway, I'm very frustrated, and thanks for bearing up with me. There's a few more things I wanted to say, but I talked enough. But like I said, I'm so opposed to it, but like the rest of you, I don't think we have a leg to stand on. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, it was Henry, now Julianne Cox. Oh, is this, is that Henry's? I'm not sure.
This,
Whose
Yeah.
was that? That was his, yeah, okay, thank you. All right,
Hi.
careful that chair. Yeah, I'm waiting for something to slide off. Right, swear you in, raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
yes, I do.
All right, give us your name and comment.
My name is Julie Cox. I live approximately 5 or 6 miles out of Watoma in County C. The power line exists right now through the backside of my property. We moved there about 12 years ago. We only have about 5.5 acres there, and the power line cuts through, basically, I consider it my backyard. I do have a buffer of trees, not much, and I guess my concern is with right of way as well. I was told that currently, the right of way is 75 feet from the middle of the line, and they want to extend it another 25, so it would be 100 feet from the center of the line, and I pasted off this morning, and that would cut out about half the woods that I have right behind my house. Again, when I moved there 12 years ago, I spent probably the first 2 or 3 summers getting rid of the debris that the previous company, whoever it may have been, or tree fruit service people left along the edge. I cleared all that out. And now they're coming in and they want to cut 25 more feet back. I was assured that it would all be cleaned up. Well, we'll believe it when we see it. Again, I am 5 miles from these solar panels. So I guess I'm concerned too with why do I have to pay for this damage to my property when, you know, if all we need is more power, I'm this far away. I'm concerned the environmental impact. Now I got that big book. And I guess if I spend another few days looking at it, I can answer my own questions, but I called the herbicide guy this morning and asked him, you know, if you're using herbicides strong enough to kill vegetation, what's it gonna do to me, the animals, my pets, my water? And I'm not the only one who lives there, but my property is pretty much the one that's affected by the power line. He assured me, of course, that everything would be fine. Okay, I'll believe that and when I see that too. So the environmental issue is huge with me. Property value too, if they move another 25 feet of my trees, they're nice big oaks and pines, what will my property value be? Not to mention the aesthetic value of looking out my backyard, and I've landscaped quite a bit of it. So a lot of it is just, you know, close to my heart as far as destroying it, and for what? For what? You know, I guess 25 more feet isn't gonna make a difference, in my opinion. So I guess that's my biggest concern. Thank you.
Thank you. So last appearance slip I have here is Eric Nelson, I think. Yeah, okay, and we have some more.
Does anyone else have another?
Yes, that was my question. If anyone else wishes to speak, get your slip up from Allison, get it filled out with her, and we'll continue on. So have a seat.
We need this spelling of his last name.
Yes.
Nelson, Nelson.
It is that, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't clear. This is-
I know my writing.
That's okay, I do it too. So this, let me swear you in then. So do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes,
All right, so name and comment.
my name is Eric Nelson. My comment is, basically, I bought 87 acres up in Jackson County as retirement property a couple years ago. And we've done some development on it. And I attended the first ATC meeting up in Black River Falls. And I was asking them questions about it, and they are not using current information on it. I've done some development on the land already, and the photos that I was shown doesn't show anything. So I understand why, you know, maybe the land was selected as the alternate route. But that's 150 feet right down through the middle of my land. So that's a lot of land coming out. So I mean, I've got multiple issues with that. First of all, is the driveway we put in is about 1,670 feet back through. It meanders through the woods a little bit because I didn't want to take out the trees. The proposed line, again, this is on the alternate route, section 8D to be specific. It goes right down the driveway. We will lose access to the development we have done already. Post structure 8050 is gonna be pretty much right on the driveway. 8049 is gonna be very close to it. So again, we'll lose access to that. To the property. And when they put that in, because of the 150-foot width. We have a very high risk of losing our septic field. I was told specifically, don't let heavy equipment drive over this. It'll destroy it. You're perked for, at grade septic and all that. That's the only place that it would actually perk. I have some real concerns over everything I've heard about how, quote unquote, careful these companies are. I'm afraid of losing the septic field. Some of the other issues I have, other than, with that 20 pages. With that 150-foot width is, right now, it's fairly secluded back there. We have caught, because we're in the Hatfield area, Lake Arbutus, there's a lot of recreational ATVers that come up for a weekend. We've had people already try to go out down our driveway. We've been able to stop them. We have some barriers. You create 150-foot wide access coming right off of county land down into that. We're gonna have all sorts of issues. We've had issues that's only gonna compound the issue. In addition, we have some family members that have some medical conditions, and I've read through the environmental impact and the concerns with transmission lines. Most of those are focused on cardiac and that kind of stuff. Well, one particular member has an implanted medical device that is specific. I can't get into a lot of detail here, but you read through the instructions that come with it, and they specifically say, don't get within 25 feet of some of these, high power lines and high power areas. Our driveway goes right under it. There's no way that you can avoid that. Yeah, but I guess that's most of my concerns. Some of the other things that have been talked about, the wildlife, there's a lot of wildlife in that area that's gonna be impacted by having this big corridor taken down. And that's all, for lack of a better term, that's all virgin land. The primary route goes mostly along highways, and yes, there is some land. I've read through the various numbers, and depending on what the real focus is gonna be, are you gonna protect historic sites? Are you gonna protect ag land, grassland, wetland? Where are you gonna go? I'm not sure, I myself am not questioning the need to move power around the state. I understand the economics of where power is generated and where it's needed and where it's sent off to. Most of my questions really are, did ATC really take into consideration the best routes available? Coming back to some of the other comments that I've heard, a lot of this is going against private landowners. Doing a little bit of research, yes, the ATC, these guys like going against private landowners because you don't have the money there. It's harder to go across public land. Even with the alternate route, you just take a little bit of a detour and now you can go over a lot more public land. Why does it always have to be the people, the individuals? So I'm not saying no to a line. I'm just saying, I think we need to question some of the routes. Just a little bit of a diversion, you can use more of the public land. And looking at the public land in that area, some of it has been logged. It's not passable. I'm sorry, but I know how these logging companies work. You can see the devastation when they go through and do the logging. I guess that's most of my comments. I just want to make sure everyone truly understands the impact on the electromagnetic fields. I know there's been a lot of studies. Like I said, I've read the environmental impact. Most of that is related to cardiac stuff. There are other implantable medical devices. And directly from Medtronic, don't get close to these things. It will impact. Yeah, our septic, the whole driveway. So I guess just to kind of wrap it up here, I just want to make sure that you do understand the impact on private land versus why can I not just take a little bit of a detour and use more publicly owned land?
So I'm just curious, were you reading, those are notes that you're reading from? If I could.
This is actually what I had, a direct copy of what I had filed.
Okay,
With
so it
the
is.
with the environmental
Oh,
impact.
okay. let me
I
take
don't
it.
know if that.
Let me take it then. I'll
Okay.
put this with your appearance slip, the commissioners can see it.
Yep, and then my notes, and then, yeah, so this is what I had printed off from
Okay.
the.
Yeah,
perp already.
that's good. No, this will be
So I've
useful.
filed a
Great.
couple of comments on that.
Okay,
What I didn't put on there originally was the public, we've caught people coming down our driveway.
Yeah.
You make this
Okay.
150-foot
Right.
wide inviting, come on down to Halls Creek.
yeah.
I mean, Halls Creek is a beautiful area. They've called it the Little Dells.
Hmm.
It's gonna be hard to keep people off of our
Okay.
land by doing.
Okay, so we got your comment on the transcript and I'll take this document as well. And I just was wondering, just go off the record a second. I don't know if this is Andrew here or, yeah, there you go. Did you get a sense of the septic
I
issue?
would like to talk to you.
Yeah.
We can look up your address.
Okay.
and See. within-
Okay.
Yeah, we want to make sure we can pinpoint that on the map. So
Okay.
that's great.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
'cause I
glad
had-
you
I had
brought
brought
that
all this up to ATC of the Black River Falls and I could just see the look on their face like, oh my God, we don't have current information.
Mhm. Yeah,
And no-
okay.
No one would answer questions.
So meet up with Andrew then and we'll get that sorted.
Okay.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
you, appreciate it. Okay, so next is Dwayne Wren, Renn. There you go. So you see now, I know you came in a little late, so you missed some of the intro. But so we're here taking public comments on the ATC proposed line, and we're the Public Service Commission, so we're collecting the information for the commissioners to decide the application. The commissioners are the people who run the state agency that's in
Okay.
charge here. So what you're doing is you're commenting so the commissioners can understand your opinion on the case. Okay, so let me swear you in first. So raise your right hand, swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I told who's old, who's old.
All right, and let me give you the mic and give us your name and comment, please.
My name is Dwayne Wren. My property is in Marquette County, up a Soda Road. And basically, I've got 30 acres there. Right now, I've got a high pressure gas line going through there and a power line. My question is they're gonna take 50 more feet of my woods, basically. I've got ponds in there, springs. And I think it's just gonna ruin the whole thing. Plus, it's gonna, like everybody else has been talking, it's gonna take the value of the property down. Because who's gonna wanna see and look at a big power line in their backyard? My neighbor next door, like the gentleman I have here, his septic field runs across the power line right now, the right of way. So they're gonna be basically condemning his septic right there too. And like I said, I don't see any need for what, they've got 100-foot right of way right now,
Mhm.
put it in the 100-foot right of way and be done with it. That's basically what I've got to say.
Okay.
Because like I said, I mean, my taxes are gonna go up every year. I understand it that they're gonna come up with one lump sum payment. So that's not gonna take care of the taxes down the line or whatever, or if I wanna sell it down the line, the value is gonna go down. So basically, I'm opposed to it, 100%.
All right, okay, thanks. All right, so that's all the appearance slips I have. No one connected to Zoom. Yes, sir. So we're gonna go off the record here.
Older thing, but I can speak also.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I can let you speak. It won't, if you say something twice, it's not gonna make it,
Alright.
more meaningful, but if you got everything you wanna say in writing, commissioners will read that.
Same
so.
day there, I had spring to my land and where the poles are gonna be is right where springs are.
Okay, well, we got that documentation. I know you've been talking with staff too, so.
Notice county and state land across the road where only the creek runs across,
Mhm.
and it's all high ground. And they jogged across south of me, went down through my woods and jogged back on the other side to skip the state and county land.
Yeah, all right,
And then
well,
put it right where the springs are. I mean, hello.
thanks. So anyone else wish to make a comment anyone else wish to make a comment that hasn't had a chance? Okay, so we'll be back at 6 PM for, I'm sorry, sir. You'll have to come back up here. Yeah, go ahead. All right, so just give us your name one more time.
Henry Lipke,
All right, and remember, you're still under oath? And I'll give you the microphone.
Henry Lipke.
Okay, go ahead. I'll hold it for you.
Okay.
You're good, yeah.
I wonder if we all realize 150 feet is gonna be like a half a football field. That's a big chunk of land. What really, when I was reading that, what added insult to injury, they're gonna go through my woods. They're gonna cut the trees, but guess what? I can retain the trees. After they've cut it. What's the market now for wood? There really isn't one. I know I talked with the forester that I was using when the forest crop law. He said, Henry says there was market on this, now this, I gotta date that, that was maybe 3 years ago. He says, they have all the wood they want. So we have a memorial now, we'll have a nice pile of oak trees laying there, and I can go by them and say, rest in peace.
All right. Well, thanks very much. So, no one else to comment, hasn't spoken? All right, so we'll be back here. We'll adjourn now. We'll be back at 6 PM for new comments from new people. So thanks very much, everyone, for joining us. Appreciate it. And whoever we need to connect with staff, please do that now. Thanks.